Okay, I really dislike this, but let me just talk for a few minutes. Wagwan y'all, it's Dimz, and if you've seen by the thumbnail, yeah, there's something I dislike, and it has to do with some of the recent announcements that we had got. So recently, with a Nintendo Direct, revealing that we are getting a remake of Super Mario RPG, and previously we had got an announcement from Atlas saying that they are remaking Persona 3. This should be a point of awesomeness for me. Like, I should be excited, but I'm not. And why is that, you may ask? Well, it's because it seems to be some kind of random trend, but recently a lot of games that's getting remakes and remasters are just getting graphics bumps and getting less content. And that is irking me a lot. So what I mean by this is that I love remakes. I love remasters. I love the fact that a new set of eyes and a new player base is able to play an older game that's beloved by a lot of people today, with on modern consoles and with most of the times with modern quality of life updates to make the game just play better. But the issue is that there's a lot of games that is just being remade with less content than the original. They're just having graphics bumps, but less content, and that's stupid to me. So firstly, let's talk about Persona 3 Reload. So Persona 3 Reload is a remake of Persona 3, and honestly my favorite Persona game, especially out of the main three Personas of Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5. Now, I have been following the rumor mill of there being a Persona 3 remake somewhat closely, because it's basically saying, hey, there's going to be a Persona 3 remake that's kind of like P5 graphically. And I was like, that sounds amazing, especially with more people be able to play my favorite Persona. Because before, it's really hard to play Persona 3 because first you're going to say, oh, I have to emulate it or I have to find a way to get a PS2 if I want an FES version. They just re-released Persona 3 Portable, which is technically a different story, but it is mostly the same. But long story short, there was basically two different versions of Persona 3, and really no one can agree on which one's better or which one should be played. So in theory, a remake of Persona 3 would have mostly all the content all mashed together with a good new art style of Persona 5. So, it'll be enticing to a lot of people who missed it the first time and just get a lot of people to play one of my favorite Personas. I was very excited until it had came out that Persona 3 Reload will not have Persona 3 FES content, and basically it won't really have a lot of Persona 3 portable content, which is just making a third version of Persona 3 with not all the content together. Well, not even not all the content together, less content than both of the other two versions, but it's just prettier now. And this just immediately killed all the hype that I had for this remake, because I can just go back and play a modded version of Persona 3 with quality of life and just have a more content-rich experience. Sure, it won't be as pretty, but I really never needed it to be pretty in the first place because I love Persona 3. Now they're going to have this game be basically a gateway for a lot of people to play Persona 3, and they're going to find out that there's a lot more content that's not in the game, and basically they're going to be back to square one of how do I play that extra content or how do I experience that extra content. And that's not the point of a remake. That just kind of squanders everything. You just made the game prettier by removing content. And honestly, it's kind of nonsensical to me because this happens a lot with a lot of re-releases and remasters. So much to a point that nowadays I have to sit down and wait for these remakes to come out and wait for someone to make a comparison video on these games to see is it worth actually picking up. Saying, does it have the same amount of content as the original? Does it have more? What has changed? Does it just have a pretty new facelift? Is that all? But with also a full price tag? It's basically to the point where I can't be excited nowadays for these remakes because I'm always waiting. I'm over here saying, what are they going to cut? Or what are they going to mess with? Or what am I not receiving? Am I getting the full experience? I'm asking myself this back to back to back. And what really sparked this video was that, I thought it was just a fleeting thought because of, Persona 3 Reload. But now Super Mario RPG was announced, and I'm feeling the same way. Super Mario RPG has been on my list to play, and I actually just got it to play. I just got the original to play, and now I'm waiting like, should I play the original or should I play the new version? And what I ultimately decided on was I'm just going to wait for someone to just make the comparison video. I don't want to waste my time and play the game twice. But then again, if it's that good, I don't mind playing it twice. But I don't know, because it's been an iffy track record. Like, let's say Zelda Ocarina of Time 3DS. This is, to me, one of the definitive ways to play Ocarina of Time. It looks pretty, you get all the content, and you get bonus content with the Master Quest, which wasn't in the original N64 or most releases because it was on the GameCube version. This was a win. But then, on the flip side, there is Zelda Majora's Mask 3D, which is a pretty inferior version to the normal the normal N64 game. And if you want to know exactly why, check out this video by Neril. But anyway, aside from that, it's just been iffy on these remakes and remasters, saying, is it going to actually be good? Are they going to change too much? Are they going to cut content? And is it just for the facelift? Then, don't get me started on the unneeded remakes like Mario and Luigi Bowser Inside Story, when you can play the exact same game on the exact same console. And honestly, the original Inside Story has the better sprites, in my opinion. Or taking into account The Last of Us Part 1 remake for PS5, when you could just grab the PS4 version and play it on your PS5 as well. It really is only a facelift and a price increase. That's the only thing I'm seeing different. All in all, I don't want to rain on anyone's parade because, hey, Super Mario RPG content is amazing. The fact that we're getting acknowledgement and the fact that, they're actually doing stuff with it again, a new generation is going to be able to play and experience these games in a prettier manner. But I just can't stop being skeptical. I really hate this. I hate that every time a remake's announced, I have to wait and say, I wonder what they're going to take out. Or I wonder if it's actually going to be worthwhile. I'm not saying all remakes and remasters have to replace the previous version, but when you are the lesser version, the one with less content, what's really the point of even, it existing? Anywho, I have been Dimz. You guys have a great day. This is just a quick rant. Yeah, just have a good one. If you're excited, woohoo.